call this meeting to order. I got a roll call. Oh, who wants to play secretary today?
I believe Bill is joining us via Zoom.
Are you gonna be able to hear?
Yes, he can hear us.
He's all, so Matt said he's on board. So.
Can we hear him?
Yeah, if he unmutes and speaks, it'll come out of his speaker.
Right behind you.
Bill, you got a roll call?
Right now, he's muted on his end.
Time to unmute.
Great, thank you, guys.
Bill, you got a roll call?
Yeah,
Oh, I can't hear.
he said thank you guys,
Oh.
and he muted again. Here he comes.
Call it out.
John,
Yes.
present.
Hello.
Just go down the list.
I know. All right, Phil's here, Ron's here, Dan's here, Jared's here, I'm here. That's all that's here. Oh, Bill, I'm sorry, Bill. I looked right at you too.
You know.
Our connection's breaking up a little bit, John, sorry.
All right, stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, well, that's actually slow. Was the meeting noticed?
Yes, sir.
Can I get a motion to approve the minutes for last month's meeting?
Motion to approve last meeting.
Bill seconds.
Phil, Ron made the motion, Phil seconded to approve. Any questions, corrections? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? So carries. I have no announcements. I have nothing. She's already celebrating over here.
And they're trying to keep her here.
All right, public comment and presentation. Commissioner Edgars.
Hey,
How are you, sir?
oh, great.
Welcome.
Good to be here for the second time this week.
This one should be a lot calmer for you.
Well, I don't know. The last one wasn't too bad. Just for somebody at the end, like a dog with a bone, so to speak, just wouldn't let go. But tonight, I'm here just to say thank you. First of all, to all of you for what you do for Fixing. It's a big deal, and the county appreciates all of it. Obviously, the county commissioners do as well. It's a lot of work. We had a lot of bumps along the way, and it's not always easy. Each one of you sitting in these seats have made tough decisions at difficult times. Libraries have had some issues. Recreation's had some issues, but you stuck to it. You stuck to it and made it happen. The people that work here make it happen every day. Our employees at the county, and we went through those storms. You can't live, we wouldn't have made it without our dedicated employees. So the employees that do the work every day, unbelievable. And then, of course, we have those 4 leaders that given of their heart and soul to do work for the residents every day. And it's their leadership and how they push the envelope sometimes with the board, how they push the envelope with us.
Never.
The one I'm going to talk about in just a minute really pushes the envelope. But things happen. If you're a leader, you have to do that sometimes, right? And so, to the 4 directors specifically, you guys are rock stars. You make things happen for the community every day. But today, I just really wanted to say, on behalf of the county commission, thank you to Lois. For her, it gets a little emotional at times because it's a big step. The retirement's a big step. Changing the leader of the library is a big step. You've been a voice for library services, wherever you've worked in this county, for years, for decades. And I just can't thank you enough for your dedication. And the number of phone calls that she makes to our maintenance maintenance folks, or our planning folks, or folks that are in charge of the penny, or the expansion push, or the land next door that we didn't end up doing for more parking. All of it. And you do it with passion and compassion, and I don't know, just thank you. And so the commission, I really wanted to do a proclamation for you, but also just for this group that works so hard every single day. So part of this is for you too, even though this is specifically for Lois as she retires in that next phase of her life. And obviously Godspeed and good health and fun and all that stuff. She lives in Pasco. We're going to implement a new place up at the north end of the county that takes fees for people entering our county. I had to wait till she fully
Finally.
wanted to make sure she got to work every day, unabated. But let me read this to you because I think it really speaks for a lot of things that you've done and what you need and all of that to me, to the board, and obviously everybody sitting around here. So we're honoring the retirement of Lois. And whereas Lois has devoted nearly 4 decades to library service, beginning her career as an elementary school teacher and later serving at Middle Country Public Library in Center Reach, New York, while earning her Master of Library Science degree. And whereas after relocating to Florida in 1999, Lois served the Palm Harbor Community Services Agency as head of youth services and assistant library director at Palm Harbor Library before becoming director of East Lake Community Library in 2013. And whereas throughout her 38-year career, Lois championed innovative programs such as First Steps Parent, Child Workshops, Toys and Tools to Go, and STEAM educational kits, strengthening early learning and community engagement. And whereas Lois played a vital role in community outreach, serving as the North County liaison for Census 2020 and helping lead the library's COVID-19 response, including the materials locker system. And whereas Lois's leadership fostered a collaborative and supportive workplace, strengthened by partnerships with Friends of the Library Foundation, and advisory board volunteers. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the Pinellas County Board of County Commissioners that March 27, 2026, that's a few days off so we can get our party hats on and get ready to go, shall be recognized as a day of honor for the contributions of Lois EML, and it's witnessed by all 7 county commissioners. And in this day and age, that doesn't happen all the time. So you should know that everybody signed that approval immediately. So we love you. Thank you. Thank you. Come on up. Okay. We won't ask you to speak right now unless you want to.
Oh, I can speak.
Come on.
Oh, all right.
Go ahead.
I can.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, all right.
Go ahead.
I am overwhelmed. Usually, it's rare that you find me speechless. But this has been a wild and wonderful journey, and Dave, I think you've been with me from the start practically, and it's been wonderful to be able to, number one, work both sides of the lake, get to know both communities as diverse and different as they are, and yet to have 2 wonderful careers in my life. First as a teacher, and now, as a librarian since I was 40 years old. It's so easy to come to work when you love what you do, and this has been my passion, my love, and it was a little scary at first coming to this side of the lake because of the fact that I was so happy at Palm Harbor, but I don't regret a minute of it, and it has been wonderful working with everyone here. And I always say I look good because they make me look good. But, you know, it's never been a management style where they work for me, we all work together, and it's a beautiful patchwork quilt, and I think that's why it works so well. But this is amazing, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay.
Thank you, appreciate it.
All right, and I will be at the Board of County Commissioners meeting next week to thank them personally. So.
I'm sure, or to give us a hard time about something.
Oh, you know, the tiny terrorists can't leave quietly.
Thank you.
All right. It's just the beginning. Should we buy stock now and clean it?
No, it's
Oh, okay, just checking. All right, CBEZ audit results. You guys are caught up.
Oh, after that, this should be riveting.
This is riveting.
I'm not surprised.
A separate agenda was sent to you, so you didn't have that. Thank you.
That's what I said.
Here, Anne Marie.
And while they're doing this, I just wanted to say, we have the new coins that we're giving out to folks in the community who do above and beyond, so it's just a little token of our affection, the coin for the county, for you to remember us all.
Oh, you're unforgettable.
I don't know if that's good or bad, but thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
No, thank you, Commissioner.
We're trying to get the presentation up on the floor, but you guys have it all in front of you, and you're getting it up on the screen. We can just go with what they have in front of us, it's fine. Appreciate everyone, inviting us to the meeting. We are here to present the results of the September 30th, 2025 audit. You should have this presentation in front of you. Your engagement team, my name is Amy Barnum. I'm the signing audit shareholder this year that will be signing audit at the end. And with me today, I have Giz Card, who is the senior that worked on the audit. We are going to go through the audit results and then just high level the financial information as of September 30th. So we have completed all of our evidence gathering procedures for us to provide reasonable assurance that the financial statements are materially correct within the accordance with US GAAP. We are prepared to issue the audit report that includes the opinion that the financial statements are fairly stated upon the approval by the board and then receipt of a management representation letter at the end of the meeting. The audit report is clean, unmodified opinion, so there was no deviations in any of our findings. There were no instances of fraud or illegal acts noted during our procedures. There were no material uncertainties noted, and there were no significant changes made to our audit plan that was discussed with management at the beginning of the audit. In the audit report, there will be an opinion on the supplemental information that's in the report. We have completed inquiries of management and evaluated the form, content, and method used to prepare that information. We have reconciled that information to the underlying accounting records and to the financial statements themselves. There's been no changes in preparing that information from prior years. And we're prepared to issue an opinion on the fairness of the supplemental information in relation to the financial statements. So accounting policies, there's significant accounting policies for FICSA are disclosed in footnote 1 in the audit report. There were no changes to those policies or new adoption of new policies in fiscal year 25. There was no significant unusual transactions, and there was no alternative accounting policies that we discussed with management. There were no auditor detected adjustments during our testing. We did record some entries that management provided during our procedures. We do not consider those audit findings. They were more cleanup and reclass entries that we report each year. There were no proposed and waived entries that we discussed with management. Financial statement disclosures are neutral, consistent, and clear. We are not aware of any other documents that our audit report would be filed or published with. That if there were to be any that you guys publicly post, we would have to read that information for consistency with our audit report. There were no related party matters or conflicts of interest that we found during our audit procedures. There were no disagreements with management. We are not aware of management consulting any other accountants. The audit team did not consult with anyone outside of our core team. There were no issues discussed conditional to our retention as the independent auditor, and there was no significant difficulties encountered during the procedures. So we like to disclose just high-level summary of the financial statements as of year-end 25 when you compare it to 2024. You can see here that your total assets went up from about 9.4 million to about 9.9, almost the $10 million mark. Significant increases year over year. There was about $800,000 of additions of property and equipment this year. That was offset by depreciation of about $500,000. So there was an increase to almost $5 million of property and equipment. And the other notable changes within your cash and cash equivalents. So that went up at year end about $570,000 increase there. So those were the two main drivers of your assets. Your liabilities, when you look year over year, they went slightly down. No significant changes that we saw in our audit procedures. And then your total net assets year over year went from about 8.9 million to about 9.6 million. So the detail behind that increase of about 680 is on the next slide over. So when you look at your statement of activities year over year, you can see that your support and revenue went from 7.5 million in 24 to a little over 8 million this year in 2025. Main driver of that is revenue received from Pinellas County. And then you'll see below that your total expenses went from about 6.8 million to about 7.3. So that increase in your support and revenue was utilized for program services and support for the organization. So you can see here that year over year your net increase for both 24 and 25 was about 680,000. So that drops down to your net assets at the end of the year of 9.6. That's all we have to present for you guys tonight. If you have any questions, please let us know.
Any questions? No? Excellent. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.
That's a boring audit. We love
The glass overlook from that. Thank you again, guys, for your time and effort and all of that. Anybody else for any public comments or presentations? All right. Agency rules, procedures, laws, clarifications. I don't have anything. Treasurer's report. Mr. Wall.
Still getting acquainted with everything, but reviewed all the accounts, no abnormalities I found. Everything was good, no issues that I can see.
Excellent. All right. Since it's not a written report, we don't need to vote on it. Right? We've
That
said
is
that?
correct.
Okay.
We said we were just gonna take it in.
All right, let's get into the agency reports. East Lake Parks and Rec. I got a motion to approve the monthly financials.
Second.
I have a motion from Bill, I have a second from Phil. Make sure, guys, we include our names on the financials approval. Any questions for Mark on the financials? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? So carried. Director's report.
I'll make a motion to accept that, Bill Westwood.
Phil Phillips will second.
Any comment?
Just a couple highlights. our soccer, we're gonna have a 5v5 tournament June 13th. There's a new age rule for soccer. I think I mentioned that before. Spring flag football will start. It's our new season, April 3rd, and run for 8 weeks. We submitted did our budget transmittal this past month to the county. We met with Chris Rose as directors to discuss health insurance, but it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. We met with representatives from Huntington Bank, which merged with Cadence, and to discuss Huntington. And we're in discussions with some other banks too, looking at what our next process will be there. Still wading through issues with the county on the lease agreement and some issues with the Florida Community Trust. I think we need some special permission according to the county, if we can even use that property for the expansion project. So, yeah, it's yeah. But anyway, we're working through that. There was it was in the county's annual report that was sent to FCT, and so they're aware of it, but they never responded to the county in either way. So Paul Kazi's team is following up, checking on that. So it was frustrating because it seemed like we were way past that part. That should have been done initially, which we thought was. Anyway, so that's been frustrating. But we're trying to work through that right now. And then there was another curveball thrown our way this last couple of weeks. Is a call from a person at the county that got a call from the fire marshal asking him where these there were supposedly supposed to be 2 fire hydrants on our property. Because I guess according to code, it has to be within 500 feet of a building, a structure. So I said, well, can you send me the map that you had? And they sent a map that shows the location of 2 fire hydrants and water lines on our property, which aren't there.
Okay,
So
surprise, surprise.
fire department couldn't find them. The county didn't find them, but they found a drawing that said they were on our property. But the fire marshal says it doesn't matter. We'll have to install them. So it's going to be very expensive. The runs are, I don't know.
It's probably at least 1,000 feet. So,
Whoa.
And part of it goes. So we're still trying to muddle through all that and figure out if there's any way around it or not. But stay tuned.
Mark?
Yeah.
Mark, so they're saying you don't have the right protection on the property in case there's a fire.
Yeah, go ahead, Bill.
So I went down and met with Steve Allen at the county today, and the fire marshal was on the phone with us. Originally, I don't know if everybody knows, originally that was like a agricultural area. Our oldest buildings have been out there for probably late 50s, 60s, at least, if not before. They did not require fire protection because they're not commercial. They were residential buildings. They were housing for the people that worked in the area. So nobody can tell us when this map was made and when somebody put the red lines on there to put the fire hydrants in. But now that we've built concession stands that aren't within 500 feet, we do have a fire hydrant at the front entrance. but that's now more than 500 feet from baseball's concession stand. And really, that's the only one I think that should be in question, but they're questioning all of the buildings, and they want us to, they actually drew this map. They have a fire hydrant put right in the middle of our parking lot. So that would mean we'd have to tear up everything we've got and do that. So it comes down to whether it's commercial or residential. And because the concession stands are something that people work in and resell goods out of, they consider that commercial. So that's where we stand on it.
So you got a permit to build that
Yes,
based on drawings that were not certified by anybody?
we did not have these drawings.
Oh.
I permitted 3 or 4 buildings up there, and nobody's ever come up with this when we've gone for a permit. So the fire marshal, and this has to do with their new system of identifying where the hydrants are. There's some new electronic process they're going through. I don't know if you know about that.
The fire marshal went out to field locate what they expected to find, which were fire hydrants. And the fire hydrants weren't there, and that's what started the whole conversation. I was getting at the fact that they were permitted and allowed. So somebody didn't check at that time to make sure that possible. You wouldn't have given a permit otherwise. I mean, I would think. I mean, I'm talking about on this one piece that was more recent, not the old stuff, but that's a big deal. That's a huge deal.
I didn't see you slip in. I would have had you talk a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, it's, I have what they say, I go send me something so I can see what you're talking about. So they have one at the entrance of our parking lot, and then the other one is like Bill said, like almost right in the middle of our parking lot. And we've, you know, and Bill put in the drainage system out there. I mean, they dug up all kinds of stuff. They didn't run into any water pipes or any lines like that. And then we had put in new electrical equipment where we had two directional boring underground, and we didn't run into that either. So
And with the no cuts, when they called 811 and had everything located, nobody's ever located these lines on our property. So more than likely, they're not there.
supposedly there's, you know, this new system that is that they're putting into place with fire departments. So and they ran little scenarios. They went out to places and checked where these are supposed to be, and they weren't there. So that's how it came into our realm.
And the lines being there, it's a bit of a red herring for this. They're a requirement, and so, Commissioner, as you said, well, were they required before and somebody didn't check, and those are all question marks. There's, for life safety issues like this, there wouldn't be any grandfathering or anything like that. It's basically, is there a structure within X number of feet or X number of feet away from an existing fire hydrant? Okay, we need a fire hydrant to protect that. That's what's driving this. So there is a utility atlas that shows these expecting to be there, and they aren't there, but that's not what's driving the need. It's just fire protection is needed.
Steve Allen, when I talked to him today, he did ask me to talk. Mark and I talked to you today, so we could do that too.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, that's it.
That's enough.
Any other questions? Sounds like there's more to come. Over the next couple of weeks. All right, motion to accept and a second already on the table. Any other comment? None? All in favor of Mark's report, say aye. Aye. Opposed? So carries. And Mark, correct, no old or new business, sir? Okay. Palm Harbor Parks and Rec monthly financials.
Move to approve, Phil.
I'll second Bill.
All right, motion to, and any questions on the financials? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carries. Director's report.
Move to approve the director's report, Phil.
I'll second it, Bill.
He's kidding. Out.
No.
Erica, what you got? Any additional
questions?
comments?
Well, one thing is, it is a record-breaking year for summer camp registrations because as staff has informed me, since my laptop battery is dead and I couldn't look it up, we have 73 kids on the wait list already and 768 registered out of 800. So it's very sporadic splatterings of who we can fit in where, in what age groups and what weeks. So the larger facility being built in the next 13 months, can't come soon enough because between us and the Y, we can't serve all the people that need some childcare over the summer.
They've got a new class at camp this year. It's how to drive a bulldozer.
Yes, you heard? Yes. Every kid gets a sledgehammer when they come in. We're going to direct them to the correct location for that. Other exciting news is the Sunderman edition of the 2,500 square foot building that we have capitalized money over the last probably decade and a half because the price doubled since we got approval to do it. I don't remember what year that was, 2021 maybe. Is very close to completion. We're apparently waiting on Duke Energy to energize our power, and everything else should be ready to be signed off on by the engineer and get it approved to get a certificate of occupancy. So that, I don't know how long Duke Energy is going to drag their feet, but everything has been done from the sky down. So we're looking forward to that occupancy so that we've got programming, right, Cindy, ready and waiting to put in there even before summer. So we can't until we get the CO, but we're looking forward to that. And with the help of Mr. Gavin, we are organizing our meetings to get prepared for pre-construction. Tomorrow is a workshop at the county commission, right? And staff will present the plan for the selected contractor for the center's expansion. It's just a presentation. Nothing will be voted on until Tuesday at the actual BOCC meeting, right, Commissioner Eggers? And good Lord willing, I'll be able to attend that. And if there's any questions, I did have a pop-up meeting with Bill Greer, who is, and I know I'm going to say his department title wrong, but it's the old real estate management, but it's now construction services department manager, director. So he wanted to touch base and find out for me, what we needed as PHCSA, as the end user, and how he can connect us with. So originally it was just going to be a project manager, who's Derek Weaver. He still will be the project manager, but they're adding a construction manager, which I think will be key to making everything go as smooth as possible for the public. And BJ has, how do I want to say this, initiated and perhaps been instrumental in scheduling bi-monthly meetings with Derek and Tim Llewellyn, who is also in that same department under Bill Greer. And then hopefully once the lovely county commission approves the construction company on Tuesday, they'll be invited to the table and we'll start moving the conversations along. We'll have a site visit. So it is happening. The timeline is allegedly April 1st, 2026 to May 31st of 2027. So basically what I'm saying is, we'll all be out there for summer camp June 2027 or not, but we can pretend to be excited about that date. You guys should have all received in your PHCSA email an invitation to the groundbreaking, which is scheduled April 17th at 9 a.m. Please try to be there if you can. Lois, I sent it to your email. I know you're retired now, so if you have nothing better to do and want a donut.
I know, I like to see it.
Yeah, whatever. You are always welcome. And we're excited. I would say 90% of the invites so far have come back positive. So we've got the original senior center director, Irene, has responded yes, so she's going to come. And then my predecessor, Rick, has responded he's going to come. And then a couple of the original advisory board members have responded yes that they're going to come. So Ben Gagliardo and his wife. So I was trying to pull in some history into the invitations, as well as obviously Commissioner Eggers will be there. I don't know if any of his colleagues are going to be able to make it. One has responded he cannot. It's his wife's birthday, so I let him off the hook. Much like my colleague here, Lois, has taught me well how not to take no for an answer. But I did give Commissioner Scott a break because it's his wife's birthday. But I have not heard from the others. But it should be a fun morning. Real, I know Cindy's working hard on the hard hats to make sure the logo's the correct size on the front of them. And we will be making sure the gold shovels look perfect that day. That is all I have to add, sir.
All right, any additional questions? Will you have a ribbon cutting for the new Sunderman building?
Probably
Or is it
not.
just up?
Just,
now we're all-
we're gonna save the ribbon for the big to-do.
Any other questions for Erica? All in favor of Erica's report, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. No old business, but you do have your 2027 budget presentation.
Actually, that was supposed to be taken off because we're gonna wait.
Informed of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait and do it with Mark and Matthew next month. We're gonna let Lois be in the spotlight alone tonight with her predecessor over there.
All right.
Her successor.
So no
is the
new
wrong word.
business. East Lake, thank you, Erica, for that. East Lake Library. Thank you, Commissioner. Monthly financials, can I get a motion to approve?
Phil, motions to approve.
Thanks for waiting.
Full second.
All right. Any questions on the monthly financials? From the auditors, everything turned out really good, so that's a good thing. All in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed? So carries. The
Move to
final
approve
director's
the final
report.
director's report by Lois, that is phenomenal, by Phil Phillips. I just want to get my name on the minutes.
There you go.
Bob Schultz agrees, for the record.
Oh, excellent, thank you, Aaron.
And seconds.
Lois,
Okay.
for your last report.
Last report.
All right, thanks, I'm in
Alright.
favor.
You need a drum roll?
I have
Mark and I,
Mark
see, we think alike here.
All right, the overview, of course, a lot of focus has been on the transition, that we've been going through with restructuring and all. I do have to say that, it's been fairly smooth. I keep forgetting things I have to go over with Anne Marie, and she'll remind me, she has my phone number on speed dial, but the other big thing that we've been doing, and I think was a wonderful idea from one of my staff members, was to visit offsite other libraries, culminating on Staff Development Day, March 6th, with the President Barack Obama Library in St. Pete, the St. Pete Main Library. We went to 3 different libraries in different groups, armed with guides and questions and what to look for. We have had a wonderful person in the form of Christelle Miranda, our intern, that has been helping us. She's a phenomenal photographer, and she's pulled together a lot of the information we came back with, and it has been invaluable. Number one, it gives staff input, whereas it's not, the library director deciding what we need and what we want in the new building. It is staff input, staff feedback. They see what they like, what they don't like, what works, what doesn't. And working with all of these other libraries has been phenomenal because they're honest, transparent, that we're working as colleagues. And we have already learned several things of things not to do and mistakes that they have made that we will benefit from. In fact, it's been so successful that my boards have even decided, okay, oh, I'm glad you have that. All right. This is one of the libraries we visited. Christelle actually created this PowerPoint where we can actually go through all of the libraries, what we didn't like, okay, what works in terms of outdoor space, in terms of particular rooms, okay, particular areas, seating, technology, and it's great because we can hand this package to the architectural firm, okay, day one and say, okay, we have a design committee that we can work with you, okay, and say, these are the kinds of things that we saw that we like from a librarian point of view. So it really was a very worthwhile trip, and the staff members that we visited with couldn't have been nicer. As far as the expansion goes, I was hoping to have the first monthly meeting with the county. I don't see that happening at this point. BJ Gavin was kind enough to try to pull together this ongoing monthly meeting to touch base with everyone, and to keep things going. No, don't show that yet. No, just put, oh,
Just a teaser, just a teaser, Louis.
this is a teaser. All right. So, but it's happening. It's going. I just, don't be a part of it. Okay. Good enough.
You'll always
All right.
be.
Oh, please.
All right.
Your
Okay,
mark is ingrained.
I do also want to say that part of the transition was a joint board meetings, and I'm sorry I didn't do this sooner, but it was wonderful. On March 7th, a Saturday morning, we had a breakfast meeting, pulling together the advisory board members, the Friends members, and the foundation members to come together to discuss the transition, to discuss moving forward with the strategic plan, how they can collaborate, what each board focuses on, and how we can move everything forward in this time of change and transition. So it was a really good meeting, and a lot of good ideas came out of it. And I think it will become perhaps an annual event whereby, everybody supports the library, but, they don't always have opportunities to interact with each other, and it was invaluable. And of course, pending PHCSA approval tonight, we have Anne Marie as my successor, and I would also like to introduce you to Dino, who is now our new assistant director. And he is also taking on the dual role of remaining as a department head, which is part of our move to keep budget efficiencies under control and to cut costs at the same time, not sacrificing the quality of what we offer in terms of services and programs. So just a little bit of restructuring there. I think that's about it, other than next week being my last week. Okay.
Any questions for the last report? It's like the Last Supper.
Would you send that to us?
Yes.
The fact-finding exploration that you guys, I think, I'd love to see.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're gonna put the
Please, thank
final touches on it at a workshop. We have our staff workshop next Thursday, where we're gonna take that and also pull together everybody's input from all the different categories and subject headings that we had as guidelines when we went to the building. So we will be happy to send the final report.
Of course I do. Thank you.
In fact, that's exactly what we talked about. I said to her, present it to the advisory board, okay, and then present it to the PHCSA board. I think they'd like to see, the value of these offsite visits.
Thank you.
I was actually gonna ask the same thing. Yes, Dan?
One of the main purposes of this board is to look for inconsistencies or problems, and I know this is your last meeting, so I didn't mean to spring this on you.
Are you throwing a problem at me
Well,
now?
Something that's happened, and it's affected my family pretty deeply in the last few years with this library and its deficiency. 2 years in a row now, we didn't get any soup on soup day.
Wow.
I'd like to fix that. Also, I want to know what happened on Pie Day. What was the most popular pie?
Well, we went through 14 pies on Pi Day, 3.14. The mathematical calculation, we added an E to it. Every year we give away free slices of pie. So we gave away, figure if there's 8 slices to a pie or 6 slices, we gave away 14 pies. Okay.
Did Dan get a piece?
Well,
of
he
pie?
didn't come. I even have
Because
extra.
I was upset about the soup.
He was upset about the soup. Don't worry, I understand that there is a new volunteer soup person, okay, executive chef that will take charge of homemade soup day to ensure, if I have to cook it all myself, that we will have enough soup next year.
I thought you said no soup, but.
No soup.
That's what I heard.
I said my life. That was the bad part.
We ran out of soup, we didn't run out of pies.
Well, what was the favorite pie?
That's what I want.
Let's
Peanut
see,
butter
of the fruit pies, it was cherry. Of the cream pies, probably the chocolate creams. Any of the chocolate creams. Yeah. Right. But I have 3 still in the freezer if I can give you one of them to make up for the lack of soup.
Off the record.
Off the record.
I was hard to tell Dan
I don't know what he was
I didn't know where he was going with that.
I think you
Oh,
never
and by the
know.
way-
I do too.
I think you means it.
I saw some
We don't talk
serious.
Yes, Chef Lois will be back for, the, hot dogs on July 2nd, Independence Day barbecue. Bourbon balls, I don't know, I'll have to, well, now that I'll have so much free time, I'll have to bring them to the Fix-It meeting.
In December, yeah.
Yeah, but,
Any other questions
Right,
for
you
Lois?
hear it now, right? Mm-hmm.
All right,
It's
hearing
all
no questions,
related to
all in
food.
favor of Lois's report, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, so carries. No old business, is that correct? But we have new business. Do you wanna go through with your budget presentation?
yeah, this is a rough draft, and, the reason we're presenting it tonight is because Anne Marie, with the help of Sean and others, pulled this together. This is the rough draft. We wanted to be able to present it tonight so that if you have feedback before it is sent to the county, okay, then we would appreciate, your input on this. Okay, but this is, and again, I can't take any claim to fame on this. This was all Anne Marie doing this, so.
So Anne Marie, you're on.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. So I'm going to pop through all the slides. I'm not going to narrate them too much because you'll be here all night, but I'll just go through basically what we're going to talk about, a little introduction, and then lead in that we're starting our library expansion this year. We'll talk about our recent staffing changes.
And there's the
Everyone's
soup.
exciting. There's soup day.
Oh, too soon.
Too soon. That woman is still wrong. They don't wanna
Just
share that.
rubbing a little salt in there.
We'll just mention Lois's retirement, talk about the new staff that's in place for the new financial year. We'll talk about some highlights of the financial year 2026 so far, our collaboration with East Lake Rec. We'll talk about our youth volunteer program, which has had its highest participation ever this year. We've logged 641 hours, October through February, just from teens. Highlights about our various programming that we've offered. We've also in the past year offered the highest number of programs in our history, and we've had the highest attendance in our history, mostly due to our amazing staff, Christina, Nicole, and Cassie. We'll talk about how we supplement our budget and try and earn some more money. This was our fundraiser where we raised $6,000. We'll talk about how we support our capital campaign, again, to supplement our budget and help raise funds for the expansion. A little mention about the various grants that we've applied for and or won. Talk a little bit about our revenue loss. Our passports, as you all know, have gone away, but we'll talk, I'll talk a little bit about that. Talk about our budget efficiencies, what we're doing in this year and hopefully next to save some money and be fiscal with our money. Talk about the reduction in our insurance costs and our staff restructuring and how much money we've saved there. A little bit about our numbers, our monthly average, what we've been doing October through February. More stats about our patrons, our traffic count, and our program attendance. And then our digital checkouts. We have seen a pretty significant bump in our digital resources being utilized by up 26%, probably due to the affordability prices. And then just a little brief looking ahead to financial year 2027. It's all tentative, everything goes through, but like that we're preparing for construction this year. Again, hammering home why we desperately need this library expansion. I'll talk a little bit about the survey results. We surveyed the East Lake community and what they want from this new library. A little glimpse into our future with some of the renderings. And then just briefly talking about how we're planning for off-site library programming, if this library closes for construction, the different things that we're going to do in the financial year to ensure that the money's being spent and that the citizens of East Lake are still continuing to get good service from the library. And then just mention that it's also a strategic plan year, so we'll be planning for that also, serving the community and creating a new plan for the next 3 years. Going to end with some testimonials. We want to, make sure that the commissioners know that we're taking their money and spending it properly. So the best way to do that is feedback from our residents, and these are some of our Google reviews. And that was it. Any questions?
That's good. That's good.
Dan didn't.
Sorry.
Didn't make it.
No.
They don't put a one star for no soup in there.
Zero stuff.
Very good. Very good. Look forward to the next level of that presentation. Any questions? Palm Harbor Library, sitting in for Matthew is Kathy. Monthly
Move to approve the
financials, can I get a?
financials by Phil.
Okay.
Second by Bill.
Any questions on the monthly financials? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carries. Director's report.
Move to approve the director's report by Phil.
Second by Bill.
Any questions ahead of time? No. Kathy, any highlights?
Highlights not in the director's report is that our front doors are officially.
What?
Oh, no! It's only been 6 months to a year.
So everything's done. The locksmith came to put the alarm back in, so we're good to go. In February, we were very busy. We had Tampa Taiko Japanese drums come out. We had almost 60 people in attendance, which was great because we tried to plan it on a weekend when the Greek festival was not occurring, and then they changed the weekend of the Greek festival.
Surprise,
Surprise, surprise. We also we have our Master Gardener program every month, but this was a great one with 67 in attendance. And then we also have save the date for Saturday, April 25th. It's America 250 program. We're going to have our musical chairs, which is a classical group, play some patriotic tunes. And then after that, we are going to have the grand opening of the Elisa Nelson American Girl Doll collection, where we're going to actually you'll be able to check out an American Girl doll, and we're going to have 6 of those, and that is made possible from Elisa's greatest wishes. And so the family will be there, and we're going to have a grand opening with the dolls. And I think that's it.
Excellent. Excellent. Any other questions for Kathy on the director's report? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? So carried. Old business, none. New business, MSTU project funding. That was sent out late
Yes.
to everyone, just so
Yes.
everyone knows.
So everybody should have received the proposal. First and foremost, the ABI SPL, they are a state approved vendor. And it is a proposal to update our video and audio in the community room and also the conference room. It would be wireless. Case in point, we have projectors, but they are not wireless, so you have to wire them. I mean, you can't reach them to turn. You can't reach. I'm the only one who can reach them to turn them off. Anyone shorter than me can. We will have less wires, safety, and just update screen. We're going to get rid of the old screens that we have. We've had a problem with one of our screens where it wouldn't move anymore. So there was a preliminary budget, but we are requesting to spend no more than a total of $70,000. So it would obviously be upfront, but it would be 25,000 of that would be the MSTU if we're approved, and then 45,000 would come from our budget.
Anybody like to make a motion to approve the MSTU?
I move to approve.
I'll second it, Bill.
All right, so the motion is approving up to 70,000. Is that correct? Though?
Correct.
You
That's
didn't.
correct.
I didn't hear the rest of the motion.
Moved as presented.
Okay. A motion second. Any questions?
Yeah, the vendor you're using, you are going straight with the.
Yeah,
approved vendor?
it was state approved. We were told that that would be okay for MSTU purposes, and they were also recommended to us by Dunedin Public Library.
Yeah, I can speak to that. Matthew consulted with me on that. Typically, we ask for 3 quotes, but the state approved list is basically it's pre-approval. This is state approved. The county, when they're buying something, they can just pick right off this list because someone else has done all the legwork. So the intent is to have vendors where you're getting best value, best price, all of these things. They've done all the legwork. So
This is a normal practice for all
They already
government
got it.
agencies. Any other questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? So carries. All right.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your wireless.
Thank you.
I'm going wireless. Living without wireless. You're going off the grid. There you go. Committee reports. Audit committee, Dan.
I sent a RFP that I created using the old one and the new one. So I updated the existing RFP from 2014 for a new auditor. I submitted that to the board of directors as well as Shelby to tweak if needed. Otherwise, if approved, that's going to be sent out to multiple audit vendors for bid. I think I put the date of July as the deadline to submit them, but I don't know if we need to move that up or not. I'm not sure. We just had our audit today, so I don't know if we have to do it sooner or later, but the objective is to get a 3-year bid from at least 3 people, 3 companies.
We start the audit process in November, right? Isn't that when they present us with the letter?
Yes.
Okay.
It feels like it's year round, but yes.
Yeah, it does feel that way, trust me.
So I figured, I think I put July deadline for it, so we would have August and September and October to review and approve.
Okay.
And pick.
Sounds good. Any questions? All right, old business, update to the director's salary review. Did everybody get a chance to review the new updated salary that came out with, so the discussion was during our workshop is having Beth go back out, especially with Mark's, well, not especially with Mark's, to better hone in on what he does and come up with a proper range for that. What has come back from Mercer for Mark is anywhere between the 25th percentile being 80,000 and the 75th percentile being 130,000. Seems to be a little bit more in line with what he was doing versus before, in my personal opinion. Any questions? We had discussed possibly adopting these as the new ranges for the directors for the upcoming year. I don't know if that's still on the table.
What's the difference between this and the last version, besides the numbers?
The only difference is Mark's compensation differential. It's higher on it's higher on both ends.
Based on
the new information that was provided. They took out they based it more as a Parks and Rec versus what was it, intramural. But the same criteria was followed as well.
make a motion to adopt this as our salary range compensation going forward.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion or questions? Unfortunately, Beth had surgery, so she's unable to be here, but I was talking with her last, so I should be able to answer anything that comes up. So Dan, yes.
I have two issues with this. First being that this is designed, these salary ranges are based on revenue, which is completely out of control and out of the purview and really out of the whole point of these entities. We're not designed to be revenue generating machines, we're designed to provide services. So rather than tie the director's salary compensation on the level of revenue they bring in, because the next thing you know, we're gonna be charged for soup.
You already were, and it's over.
I wasn't charged anything.
You didn't get anything.
Right.
So, you know, Erica, you just mentioned that you're at capacity. Easy solve for that is double the price. That would help your compensation based on this, but it would destroy the community and the whole purpose of what we do. So I don't like that. And the other problem I have is it doesn't factor in pension system provided to their counterparts in Pinellas County and Florida. That pension system can be worth 7 figures if you do the math for someone that's been a loyal person for FICSA for a number of years. So because of that, I can't see adopting this. Although the numbers seem to align with what we have, I think we should do a new survey that is localized, that measures Pinellas County. I don't care what people are getting paid in Seattle or Chicago or Nebraska. I want to know what people locally are being paid for this job, because I want to know what's going to take to keep Mark from going to a different area or a different competitor, for lack of a better word.
Any other comments, questions?
Wasn't there a regional component to this survey? They adjusted for.
They did adjust for regional, and they did adjust for no pensions and the health insurance aspect as well. Yeah, it's a slight percentage difference, but they did account for the lack of pension and the lack of health insurance.
Since I'm retiring, can I speak out of turn?
You can have, you
I
still
was gonna
have
say,
it.
when did that matter? When does that
Yeah, what does that stop
Yeah,
you,
what are you gonna
A,
do, fire me?
but B, you're still the director. Okay.
I would like to, first of all, applaud Dan for his comments, because I have felt, and we all have felt rather strongly about the need for this outside group coming in to do this survey. It was flawed from the beginning, okay? And to spend the money on something like this for an agency, despite their wonderful reputation, okay, it did not, as Dan said, take into account anything relevant to our entities in terms of the fact that we are nonprofit. It should not have to do at all with revenue. It did not take into account the lack of benefits that these entities have, as opposed to municipal libraries and county-wide systems and such that have a much richer benefit program. And the fact that it was not localized, so that, it considered the cost of living in Tampa Bay as compared to the cost of living in other parts of the country. I really feel that, it was flawed from the beginning, and it was not worth the paper it was printed on.
I'm not retiring, but may I say something, sir?
Absolutely.
So my only request is, this board requested we go to a third party to get this survey done. We spent $6,000, which is not huge money when we divided it by 4, but nonetheless, it was $6,000. And we're basically throwing it in the trash. I mean, not worth the paper it's written on. And I don't disagree with you, Dan. I'm not gonna raise, the camp revenue or the program revenue or senior bridge because, they're on a fix it to make myself look better. I also run 6 different facilities and more acreage than Mark might run. So that wasn't taken into consideration if you want to consider apples to apples. So I don't necessarily disagree with the summary of what was done. But we were also told Mercer was very well respected by our own gentleman on the board that has HR experience. How then would this board propose us to do it differently? Can we do it in-house? I would trust our HR professional in-house. I think she's got the skill set to do a survey. You could call any municipality. I could. Ron, you could. Dan, you could, and say, hey, City of Dunedin, we're trying to do a salary survey. Could you tell me what your director makes? And I guarantee they would. It's public record. You could do a request. So is that what you're looking for to keep it regional? We call 6 cities around us and we say, what do the Parks and Rec directors make? Because I don't necessarily want to spend another 6, 10 grand, 12 grand on another survey and in the event that you guys think it's crap again. Does that make sense?
And we have the tools, right? The libraries throughout Florida do the annual statistical report. We could call up to the
So does
Department
Parks
of
and Rec.
State. So, I mean, obviously you have a counterpart with recreation. So it can be done in-house, and there are the tools and information and data available. And as Erica said, we have complete faith in our HR coordinator.
Maybe we just need the parameters from you. If we're not gonna go as wide of a net to state level, if we do just want a Pinellas County, we just need to know what
Well,
parameters.
Didn't Deborah do that initially?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but it's been a while.
it's been a while, but did she take into account benefits?
I don't
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think it was just a salary.
Yeah. Right.
And that's kind of what the old
Right.
system was based on.
So whatever the will of the board is.
I'm sorry, I missed the workshop.
Right.
Did you have a packet of information that was given to you that?
Well, we had it originally at the last board meeting. We had a packet that was initially distributed, and then the conversation was had
I saw
because
that.
there was grumbling and there was some marked differences with Mark's salary range versus Erica's. And then the verbiage that was used for intramural as well as Parks and Rec for Mark, and there was disagreement with that. So the board went back to Beth and asked her to reevaluate with Mercer Mark's salary range. And that's what she has presented tonight, or this presentation is tonight, is the update, no changes to any of the 3 other directors, the only change that was Mark's salary range.
I mean, all I'm seeing is it's on a piece of paper and I could have written the numbers down from, if this is all being presented.
Well, at the workshop, that was there.
Well,
I know.
but it wasn't the workshop, it was also at the last board meeting, you had the full package, which had all the parameters of what was used and how everything was calculated.
So if we didn't spend the $6 grand, we wouldn't be kind of at this position right now?
Correct.
We wouldn't be. We wouldn't have had the discussions that we had. So it's not a complete waste of money. It got a discussion going. It vetted something that we didn't even think about as far as the categories. And I thought it was a pretty in-depth discussion. So it's not a waste of money, but I don't think this is it. I think it's gotten us closer, which sucks because I'd love to be some final stage and move on to other things that we should be working on. But we still seem to be here and we have in-house capability that I feel confident in returning, getting some information and getting somewhere final with this, because we can't keep stringing this along.
I mean, do we think
Can't
this
keep
is
going.
so far off base?
I don't think it's off base. I personally, I
mean,
don't.
it's based
but-
on what the salary ranges were for, it's fairly in line. If anything, most of them went up.
But we're still missing some components that are relatable to the locale as opposed to national or global look at what this is. I wouldn't, I see your point. So what would make you happy, Dan? And that doesn't mean
Soup, clearly soup.
Beyond soup.
Beyond soup.
And maybe some ponds.
I'm willing to take, hit me. So is it you, Beth?
I really don't care. I really don't. The library director at East Lake Library, which is the only thing I vote on, is fairly compensated. And whether it falls in this range is not of importance to me. This is gonna matter if the directors are not being compensated well or if they leave, which we just had. What would make me happy is seeing a legitimate comparison of benefits, not a 3% disclaimer, all right, they don't get benefits, give them 3% more. For instance, I believe Dunedin gets an 8% match. I think I'm right about that. I don't know.
Yes.
Their library staff get an 8%, not a match, just into their retirement savings. We give what, 3?
4.
4?
Woo, we went up this year.
That's the max.
Mhm.
State law, federal law. So, you know, if I'm looking at that, why would I work? I mean, I don't wanna say it now, but Anne Marie, she was working in Dunedin, and I don't know why she would come here and get less. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm worried about is, and it all trickles down to the staff at the Parks and Rec and libraries. They don't get the benefits either from the Florida retirement system. So one of the big gripes we've had over the years is keeping and retaining people. The turnover has been high at East Lake Library, not because of the environment or the director, it's just because they have better opportunities elsewhere. So I'd like to see the pension built in, and not just at the director level, but all the staff.
I mean, it's difficult, Dan, and I don't disagree with you. You know, as a long-term employee, why would I stay if I'm maxed out? You know, I can't make any more money. Why am I here? I'm not getting that 8% thrown in my retirement, blah, blah, blah. Clearly my motivation isn't money, or I wouldn't have stayed all these years. And that's why we have tenure at our Parks and Rec department, because they're not motivated by money either based on what I pay them. But how do you take a budget at $2.7 million at Palm Harbor Parks and Recreation and try and compare it to a $16.5 million budget at the city of Dunedin? You can't. There's no way. How do you compare that? How do you raise the salaries? And that's what we're fighting every day, to try and hire a qualified, you know, I'm losing my rental specialist, which is our second largest self-earned revenue line that we produce every budget year. She's moving. You know, it's not because she hates us. She's been there a decade. Hate to lose her, but she's moving out of state. So how do I compete with the city of Dunedin or city of Safety Harbor or city of Oldsmar, who does have state retirement benefits that pays more than $15 an hour? So I have to figure out where I can pay her to, you know, Peter to pay Paul. We're never going to be able to compete with a budget that's 8 times our size, or 7 times our size. That's just not realistic.
Proportionally, you can, and if you can't, then the millage rate is too low. And it's very difficult to go to the Board of County Commissioners and say raise our millage rate, which for some reason we don't, if we're satisfied with the status quo.
I
If we
agree with
say
you.
We can't afford to keep people,
I
we
agree.
can't afford to pay staff, we need more money, well, take it out of the books collection. Stop offering student summer camp. That'll save you money, give it to the staff. County commissioners will say, oh, that's ridiculous. Then we can say, we need more money as a whole, as a collective. We need to build a building. We need to raise a millage rate so we can build a bathroom. That conversation needs to happen. It starts by setting realistic comparative salary ranges for all staff. If we always say, well, we don't have it. just make
No, and I
do.
think over the years, we went on the ballot twice already to try and incorporate to get more tax dollars. I asked the budget guy, Chris, in 2022, tell me another unincorporated taxing district that has never had a millage increase, and I've not ever received that answer in 4 years. Fixa is the only one that I can find that's never had a millage increase. But do you think we could get a millage increase this year, sir?
Not this year.
Right. So I
Everything
hear what
on
you're
here.
saying, and I agree with you. But the reality is, I mean, we can set the salary ranges from 80,000 to 200,000, but you're never going to be able to afford to pay me $180,000 a year in my little budget. I can tell you that. It's just not going to, unless I fire 3 people and work 172 hours a week. It's just not going to happen. Realistically. And I work those numbers every day. It's just the reality of it.
It's a bigger job in what we're talking about. We've talked about it before. We've actually, with Chris, we talked about, asking for a millage increase. You know, he said, if you don't ever ask or if you don't ever start it, then you're never going to get it. When was the last time? How long's our millage been set? I mean,
That was my conversation I just had.
Yeah, I know, but how long's it been?
Since 1985.
85. Okay.
It hasn't.
Tax revenue's gone up, so therefore our budgets increase because property taxes go up. We get more for the millage, the same percentage. If we presented a as Dan's saying, we presented a correct salary range that we had to go up to with the retirement package or benefits package that we wanted to see, which showed that our budget will not, that the individual budgets won't sustain that unless we get more money. You know, if we present it and make it make sense, we have a better chance of getting it. But if we just say, hey, we want a 2% increase, they're not gonna give us that.
The problem is, Bill, that your Palm Harbor's was set up that it is tied to a referendum, to a vote. And that's what makes it so difficult for the Palm Harbor side, whereas the East Lake side, good or bad, is simply a decision by the Board of County Commissioners. So you have two different
Also
protocols
true.
there.
Good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is we should have two separate boards, the East Lake and Palm.
Talked about it.
Go talk to the county commission about that.
Yeah.
We've had those conversations.
Yeah.
You know, what you can do though, is you could stop saving money for projects that aren't going to happen. And you could spend that money to hire staff, to pay more. Because why should you be good stewards in the future if you're not really providing the service level that should be being provided? Maybe the county says, you guys have enough money, the millage is fine. Why are we saving 10% on average for the past 10 years for a future?
Okay, I'm going on that list. As far as I know, my director spends it. She saves it and she puts it right into projects and then seeks reimbursement. So she's always, that money's always rolling, always. You know, she'll save up $500,000 and then it's gone in 6 months because of the project she's allocated it for. So I mean, what entity are you talking about? East
Me?
Lake? Because you've got how much in the bank?
I got almost $1.5 million between money markets and
I wondered that myself because we're all nonprofits and I don't know the reality. I mean, I was always,
the reality is the projects that I'm saving for are $1 million projects. They're $10 million projects. And you have to have seed money to even get things started. So, and we need to do fundraising yet, but we don't even know where we're at yet with some of these projects, if they're even gonna take place. Because we run it, so what am I supposed to do?
I almost, we talk about the salary range, I almost want to put it on the directors to find out what their salary ranges should be. I mean, that's.
I just did a quick Google search and found one in Safety Harbor, 86 to 139, which is right in where we are.
Yeah.
That's without benefits, obviously. You know, without the, I mean, I think our health benefits are pretty similar with the exception of family. I would have to go dig deeper into an HR search, but. I mean, if that's your wish, I'm pretty sure between the four of us, we can each call 2 communities each and find 8, you know what I mean? I could call Tarpon and Dunedin, Mark can call Safety Harbor and Oldsmar, Anne Marie can call a couple libraries, Mark can call a couple libraries, we can get some data. I don't think the data gathering is gonna be an issue.
The biggest thing that I remember when we started this whole project, which was 2 years ago, right after I came onto the board, was comparison. Is comparing what our directors do based on their job descriptions, based on the facilities, based on everything else. We can't compare to city government. We just can't. And to say that we can't. Sorry. You too much revenue, or not revenue, excuse me, too much money coming in, as Erica said. You can't compare to Dunedin, $16 million budget, state benefits, retirement, everything. We couldn't do it. That's why we decided as a board to go out to a third party that has knowledge in this to go through everything and not just have somebody internally do it. And I'm fine either way, but you know, this has been on the docket for 2 years. The results are in, and all everyone's done is bitch and complain. So we just basically, guys, wasted, I'm gonna use that term, $6 grand on this. It got us a little closer, Ron, you're right. But if this is how it's gonna be, how much more time are we gonna spend on this? How many more aggravations are we gonna have during reviews and everything else like that on an antiquated setup that we currently have? This is supposed to bring us into the 21st century. You guys wanna take us back to Stone Age? That's my 2 cents.
So I just wanna say, I sat down with Beth and we redid my job description.
Right.
You all got a copy of that, correct?
No, I don't think, we never got copies of the job descriptions for any of the directors after they were redone. Can we get questions? Thank you.
Okay, well, that was based on, then she sent it back to Mercer, and she worked with people from Mercer that came up with
The second.
this
Correct.
second one, which was more in line with what we initially had.
Mhm.
And actually, everybody's was about the same except for mine. And mine even this one went up some, not to that degree.
Right.
And listen, I'm okay with it. So, I know that, members of my advisory board, want to see me get more money. This is great. I would like to, but,
Well, we've got, Beth, and I don't know how much of it she shared with you, she's got one here that says East Lake Advisory Board is proposing that Mark Sanders be at 15% of the 50th percentile, okay, of this range, which would bring him up to 118,000.
Okay.
So we did everything that we talked about doing at the workshop. We came up with a number, and I just want to know how we're going to go forward and not, like you're saying, we're not progressing. If anything, we're regressing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not helping Mark's situation because this was back, correct me if I'm wrong, since November.
Yeah.
So, all right,
Well, it actually goes further back than that.
I know it does.
It goes further back than that.
But for this particular time frame, it goes back to November.
Mhm.
All right. He hasn't gotten his raise. What are we doing? How are we going to solve this? I understand what y'all are saying, but who's going to come up with something that we can go back and is this going to be retroactive for him?
Oh, yeah, did he not get a raise this year?
Yeah.
I got it.
He's got a raise. He hasn't gotten this raise.
He hasn't gotten a salary correction.
Correct.
It's not
That's
he hasn't gotten the salary correction that the board, that East Lake Advisory Board wants to give Mark.
He's never, he got the ones, was it 2022, I think it was, that he got the one correction?
Yes,
3 years ago.
3 years ago, yeah.
All right, 23, yeah. So, we're putting a lot of time, I know we're doing a lot of time and effort here, we're doing a lot of time and effort on our own, and we're not getting anywhere, so where do we go? We need to come to a conclusion somehow, and go forward, and get everybody up to snuff as far as salary and things like that go. If we talk about it, you won't do a freaking, give him a bonus.
That's something you guys can put on the agenda, absolutely.
But I don't think that's the answer. I think that's putting a Band-Aid on it temporarily. We need to come up with something that's gonna work going forward. And we've done math, and I think if you actually do some of the math, some of the people are gonna max out here pretty quick.
Are you comfortable with this from the East Lake
This,
rec? This
yeah.
one? This range?
I don't know which one.
The range you got in your hand.
Okay, 118?
Yeah.
Yes.
The latest range.
The latest one was, yeah, we're good with that. We went through this at our board meeting. We were fine with that. Beth came, talked to all of us, we're good with it.
I don't see how we don't use this because if we go and do our own survey now, it's kind of saying, well, we didn't like the professional survey, so now we're gonna do it ourselves.
And just so you know, and I think you know this, Beth spent a lot of time with Mercer recreating this after she sat down and talked with Mark about all of his duties. And I gave her I gave them a list of items to go through.
Yeah, I know when Beth she didn't seem to have any major objections to this, so I'm presuming that she didn't see any major flaws there.
No, she thought it was fair.
So I mean, if you go through all the work to redo this and the numbers slightly adjust, could we actually get anywhere?
She did her own, and then she did the one with Mercer.
Bill, hold on. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying, if we go through all this work and Beth does this all again and the numbers change slightly, does it worth that effort?
They haven't and the funny thing is, they haven't really changed, from what they were originally.
Right.
Yeah, and there's.
And that's the thing, so,
No major change there.
I
either,
mean,
so.
other than Mark, so, and, I didn't mean to, throw Mercer and everybody into the bus. I just thought, here we are, okay, at the 11th hour, and the salary range, okay, with the adjustment for Mark is basically the same as what it was day one, okay, when we started this. So, yeah, I mean, go ahead. I would say go ahead and accept it, but I'm just saying, okay, to me, it was a waste of time and money because we came out with the same outcome basically as what we started with in terms of the range, which is in line with other library directors I know, okay? It just doesn't take into account the lack of benefits, that's all.
So
And again-
my ignorance, what is, Matthews, what's the high end for the Palm Harbor Library? What's his max?
Basically, 85 to 134
He's
or
88 to
something like that.
140.
No, 140, I mean, that's 75th percentile, but what's the max you can get paid? And what's our salary range?
That is,
But, okay,
That is
so
the
if you're
max, the
50th, we're paying 15% of the 50th, which puts you at 118. What if I wanted to pay you 20% of the 75th? That would put me above the 134, or that would put me above the 130. Am I ignorant here? So explain to me what the range is. 75th percentile, 134. Well, what's the 100th percentile? What's the max?
I think 140 is the max of the 75th percentile. That's why you understood that?
What's the 75th percentile?
Our salary range is right now, at least for East Lake Library Director, based on the latest revised job description, it's 85,902 to 134,651.
Correct.
Which was adjusted at 4% up based on the COLA increases. Correct, Shelby?
So that's as of 10/1, and Lois is correct, because I had the comparison that was handed out to us at the last meeting. 10/1/25, that's what the range was for East Lake Library.
Mm-hmm.
For Palm Harbor Parks and Rec, 85,902 to 134,651.
Yeah, so they're the same across the board.
Mark Sanders, 85,902 to 134,651.
They were all the
And
same, John, the same.
No, I understand, but I want to read them into the minutes, so that way it's documented, guys. And then 10/1 for Matthew David at Palm Harbor Parks, or Palm Harbor Library, 85,902 to 134,651. So currently the salary ranges were the same.
And just for, research purposes, as we sit here and drone on about this, as of 2026, the average salary for a Parks and Recreation Director is $102,576 as of March 26, with a range from the 25th percentile to the 75th percentile, because Phil, I know you like those numbers, 93,636 to 109,634, and this is done even in the Tampa area, 102,576 to the 90th percentile, which is your top earners, of 116,000. Your mid-level 5 to 8 years experience of 101. I don't think we're that far off.
No, we're not.
So with that said, we should take care of this issue
Right.
now.
Thank you.
We should get this off the table and
Yes.
stop hanging Mark out to dry
Thank you.
every
He's
month.
tired of this.
We can do this. We can
He's
do
tired
this.
of
I think
this.
we should let the
Am I
county
right?
know,
Mm-hmm.
because we're not letting the county know. And I remember I've had board members from the advisory board that said, shut the place down for a couple of days. That'll get the attention.
No,
That's
no,
not the way to
that's
do it.
not the way to do
And
it.
we quickly said that's not the way to do it. But I think we should be geared to it and start conditioning the board.
100%.
The board changes, we don't as much. And as the board changes, we can continue to hammer this home to say, this is why we keep asking. Because we want to keep folks like, we want to keep Eric, we want to keep everybody that's in the place now, except for you can go. But the idea is that we need to be competitive, because some people will move, because in real estate, death, divorce, and, there's another one. No, there's death, divorce, and another D. Divorce, death,
Marriage.
debt.
Yeah.
So those three things are typically why people sell in the commercial industry, and there's a bunch of little reasons. Same thing with your folks. They're gonna come and go. They're gonna move because they gotta move, not because they were at the top of the salary range. Some people will stay there because they really like it here, and it's a good place to be, and it's beyond the money, and that's a really cool thing to have, but most people are looking at getting paid. So if you're not even charting that course correctly, then you don't know why some folks are leaving. I always told people in retail, I said, the worst thing to do is a customer leaves, they don't buy anything, you don't know why. That's the worst. So these people could be leaving for money, or they'll give you some other reasons, but money will attract them somewhere else. So at least understand what you have and what you're missing, so that you can present this over and over, so that the county commissioners can also know what we're missing, as opposed to going, take it out of something else. We got other things to worry about, and I get that too. But I think somebody should throw a motion up and see what is the motion?
To approve this as the salary range
Okay.
for our directors.
Is that really gonna solve the issue at hand, the current issue we have?
That's my whole point, is that we don't need to approve this because the current ranges that we have are pretty similar.
Correct.
But if we're going to approve this, then we're shutting the door on the compensation discussion.
So there is a motion in a second on the.
Yeah, I made the motion to
You
approve
made it,
this.
you seconded it.
And I'm suggesting we don't approve it.
For discussion.
Because if we do, then we're gonna say, all right, we're not gonna touch this for 5 years. And what we're missing in this is the compensation for the pension. So if anything, I think these are low ranges that we should raise so that we can be competitive with those government employees that get benefits that aren't reflected in the salary.
And so what's the next step to get to that point?
We need to do.
Beth comes back and
Right, I think we need to actually value the pensions and put it in the range, or we offer a pension to the fixed employees.
we at least know what's missing first,
Right.
before we start offering anything.
Because you can
can't
say, oh, it's,
give them.
I can get the same salary at Safety Harbor. That must mean it's fair.
Right.
What about their pension?
Right.
Oh, we get soup day, first crack at it,
No,
right?
only some
So,
people.
so I think we're missing an opportunity to actually be meaningful in this. But if we accept it, then it closes the door.
But it doesn't, but Dan, it doesn't close the door. It doesn't. We can, we're a living, breathing organization. Even if we accept this, we're accepting this, but that's not saying we're shutting the door. But all it says is it puts this to bed, it validates the money that was spent, but it doesn't mean that it cannot still be addressed. That's what this whole thing was about. We're not shutting the door. It doesn't shut it down for 5 or 3 years. It's still a living, moving thing. It can be readdressed in another next month.
What if, contingent upon approval of the salary ranges, the directors would direct Beth, when she comes back at the end of the month, next month, to do a benefit survey of the communities around us, because yes, we don't get a pension, you're right, but we do have an IRA with a 4% match, and we also have a very generous vacation/PTO package. We also do get raises every year, and the communities around us don't. So in order to really be fair, and again, I tried to get a pension through the county with Deborah when she was here. I did. I tried hard to work with the county attorney, and because I agree with you, that would have been the nail in the coffin to really attract some great quality candidates, but it didn't work out. But I'm saying we could absolutely task her with that. Say, hey, I want you to call 4 communities. Let's find out what they have for their benefits package. And then we could start that conversation. But at least we would put this to bed, and my colleague could stop sitting in these meetings for months and months and months and months and months, uncomfortable, because this is uncomfortable for all of us, not just him, primarily him, but also for the rest of us. So if it's the will of the board, I'm happy to take the lead on that and direct Beth when she comes back.
So, all that said, same thing. We're shoving it down the road. We're not making a decision. We're not getting Marcus raised, and he's the one paying the price for all this.
Well, Mark's raise isn't even on the agenda.
But if we adopt this, right?
His raise still has to be voted on and brought up before this board and approved. I'm just throwing it out.
That's
Just
fine.
because we approve this doesn't mean that his
I understand
salary
that.
correction gets voted on.
But it just
Approved.
seems like we're going down the same.
I understand what you're saying, but also remember one thing. You chose to remove the motion for a salary correction for Mark, right? Back in November, waiting for this. You didn't have to. You chose to. This could have been handled back in November for Mark on his salary correction, because it's still within the range. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that's.
There was some, you want to reconsider what you're doing and take it off the table, and so I did, all right? But
I can ask the same thing to Dan about his motion on this, and it's up to him to make the call. All right, I don't know. We have a motion, we have a second. Any more discussion on this? And yes, yeah. Any more discussion?
Andy, who votes on this?
Oh, the whole board.
The whole board, because this is, you're not.
You're not,
giving
it's not
anybody
individual.
specific-
Was a
It's the
specific-
salary range
You're not
for,
specifically giving anybody any money
But
on
a
that.
specific raise would be voted on by the
Just the entities that
entity
you
and
would write.
the county,
Yes.
of which we only have 2 here tonight.
no, we have 3. We have 3 county appointed people here tonight.
Who?
Me.
Oh, you, I forgot about you.
How soon they forget.
That's right. I
Ouch.
forgot you were even here.
See, he doesn't just forget us, like, he forgets everybody. Forgot you.
Forgot me. All right, so we have a motion and a second to adopt this as the official salary range of the directors for Palm Harbor Community Services Agency. All in, Inc. Thank you. I should have just looked up here. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, V2. So the motion passed. All right.
I do move that Erica, if we want to give her the authority to pursue with our HR director the benefits comparison and bring it back to us ASAP.
Is that a motion?
That is my motion.
Any other discussion, questions?
I would make that, amend that to include all employees and fix it, not just the director. Even though we don't set.
You just said
Employee
benefit
salary.
package, didn't you? Or did you say
I
director?
said benefit package, I didn't say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the
For
benefit
all-
package.
For all the fix up?
For all fix
Yeah.
Versus surrounding communities.
yeah, well, who is that? I mean, that's just. fix
No,
employees.
because there's full-time staff that have benefits.
All
No
of the
full-time
fix
staff.
employees.
It's it's a benefits review, is really what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going with what Dan said.
I know.
Just make it a little more clear.
Okay.
You agree? You got a
Sure.
second? You got a second?
Yeah.
Second the amended motion. That was Phil and Ron, by the way.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carries. Erica, can you have that?
I'll be
Thank
thrilled to
you.
do that. Thrilled.
All right, another piece of old business that was in the workshop was adoption of the director's SMART goals. Yes, we're 6 months late. Yes, we're gonna do better this year. That's my promise to you. Anyone care to make a motion to adopt the director's SMART goals as presented and current?
I'll make a motion to accept it.
I'll second it. Sure.
Motion and a second. Any questions, conversation, comments? All in favor?
You got a hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dan.
I do.
Yes, sir.
Because Lois is retiring, I don't think it's imperative that we approve her goals. However, the East Lake Advisory Board has crafted new goals for the incoming director that I'd like to give to this board in consideration for approval as well. Perhaps in the future, my objective of that is to notify this board of the advisory board's will that we want the new director to have goals for the remainder of this calendar, for the remainder of this fiscal year. So that there's something for her to look forward to during the favorite time of the year, director review. So if you guys want to, if you want me to email you those goals that we came up with for future consideration, I can do that.
So you wanted the motion amended so that we just take out Eastlake Library.
Right.
And then you're gonna supply those and hopefully we'll have that at next or meeting after that.
And very similar to the goals already established, but they are relevant to the new person coming in.
You wish to amend your motion, sir? Can you make the motion? Who made the motion?
I'll second that.
No, you made the initial motion to.
I second.
Oh, you second. Right, I'm sorry.
Are you
Hold on,
guys
let's
okay
go.
with
But
the
with
amendment?
the amendment,
Oh, you just.
are you willing to amend your motion to remove Eastlake?
Sure.
Okay. All right.
Well,
I,
cool.
Cause it's a director's.
No, I know
goals.
what it is. I'm just.
So now, but she's not the director. you want her to
but
next
she
time.
currently is still the city director, so I get what Bill's confusion is.
Well, we're putting it in this contract, because we haven't
I know this, I know this.
They're anticipating.
They're anticipating it. All right, any other discussion?
Well, you're gonna be
All
going
in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, so carried.
May I ask a question then?
Yes, sir.
I know we're sitting here and we're talking about all this. What are we gonna do about salary? Can I make a motion that we go along with what we proposed on this for March salary?
We can, after we get to new business, sure.
Okay, just asking before we
Okay.
get.
Cause I'll
glossed
ask
over.
any other new business.
There you go.
Okay,
Just checking.
all right. Criteria for director's merit increase. I put this on there, but I don't think we actually went through everything on that, so I wanna hold off on this item. At the workshop, we really didn't delve into it too much because we ran long on everything else. New business, approval of Anne Marie as the East Lake Library Director.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve. Any questions, discussion on this matter?
Anne Marie, you sure? Before they
Good,
vote?
right.
Is it too late?
Run, Forrest, run!
Okay, they haven't voted.
What do you mean there's no pension?
Just as a quick reminder, we only have one person in this, apply for this the second time around, so if we don't approve, there's no like second place, so.
Only one was presented, so that's all we got to vote on.
Right.
And that's all
Wow,
that was
you
interviewed.
gotta build a girl up, guys, keep it coming.
The slides have to be changed.
And the slides have to be taken.
Anne Marie, don't let your ego get too big over there.
Yeah,
All
go
right.
ahead, second.
All in favor of approving Anne Marie to be the East Lake Library Director, say aye. Opposed?
Congratulations.
So carried. On that is establishing Anne Marie's salary. The advisory board has made a recommendation of a salary of $98,000. That is consistent with the PHCSA salary framework and the scope of the director's role. Anyone care to make a motion on a salary for Anne Marie?
Motion as stated.
Motion of $98,000 as stated. Can I get a second?
I'll second it, Bill.
Any discussion, conversation? No, there is no pension.
Oh,
Wait, Bill,
What?
Bill can't second that, and he's.
Oh, that's right, Bill can't second that. All right, Dan seconds it, because Dan can't second. That's right, because you don't.
Dan can
Yeah.
second, yes.
All right, so the vote is for basically the four of us, four of us. Four.
Yes.
Yes.
On salary. What? Huh?
No.
I didn't
You're
want
good. Keep
to
rolling.
interrupt the secondary meeting.
You're not.
There was something we need to get on the minutes.
We were just talking
Ooh.
how.
Just want to make sure.
We were
Shots
trying to
fired.
decide who likes you better. Sorry.
Like he's never.
All in favor of
It's a
Anne
tie.
Marie's salary at $98,000, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So carries. Congratulations, Anne Marie. Welcome to the craziness.
Now you can,
work on your goals.
Can I get soup in my benefit package?
That's up to the, I don't wanna say it.
We're getting you Campbell's.
Any other new business?
I'd like to make a motion.
Okay.
Am I allowed?
Yes.
Okay. So based on what Beth has put together with Mercer's help, we have a recommendation of $118,000 salary for Mark. I would like to make, huh? Yeah?
You forgot $400.
My bad, I'm blind. I've been here too long. That is my motion.
We have a motion to adjust Mark's salary to 118,400. Can I get a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Open to everybody. Yeah, discussion is open to everybody.
It is retroactive, correct? Back to.
Well,
You
no,
wanna
it
add
would
that to
be
your
the
motion?
correction.
I'll make that, yeah, okay.
Okay.
The motion would be, we do raise it to 118,400, and it is retroactive back to when we started this process in November.
November, well, January 1st.
January 1st, right.
All right, so repeat it one last time. I just want to make sure the minutes are correct, that's all.
I would like to make a motion that we raise Mark's salary to $118,400, effective January 1st,
2026.
2026.
At 8:40 p.m. I'll re-second that.
That's 7:49.
Yes, 49.
Yeah, it is, that clock is still wrong. Any discussion? Discussion is open to everybody.
What was the salary increase in January, or that we just did?
We all got 4.5% except Matthew.
And that essentially puts him in line with the percentile of Lois and Erica, correct?
Correct. And this is in line with what Mercer and what Beth both came up.
Any other discussion? No, the only voting is the four of us. Right, okay. All in favor on the salary correction for Mark as stated in the motion, say aye. Aye. Opposed? So carries.
Thank you very much.
All right. Any other new business? All right, hearing none.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Well, how about we have the next meeting of April 15th, tax day, at Palm Harbor Parks and Rec. We're gonna be at the main building or Harbor Hall?
Oh, I don't know, where are we gonna be? I think at the main building, right? Next time? We haven't started camp yet, no?
No.
I was shaking your head, no. Right, so yes, we're at the main building.
Yes, no, they were agreeing, you haven't started yet.
Wait, before everybody gets up.
Yeah, before we go any further.
Don't, I know you're adjourning, but hold on one second, please.
Yeah,
We have one other item that's not on the agenda.
okay.
We like to.
For she's a jolly good fellow, for she's a jolly good fellow. That's all I know.
Nobody can deny.
I can't hit that note.
Also, there is cake, please do not leave.
Yeah, everybody has to take a piece of cake.
No soup.
In fact, I actually made carrot soup for dinner. You have to go.
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Oh.